Hi, Francis. May I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
Yes. I've been following your YouTubes and reading your books, and I've attended several of Rupert's retreats, and I think I'm feeling the peace and serenity that you both talk about. But I'd like to understand more on Jean Klein talks about the subtle body and the energetic body. And I'd like to see how this can help my so-called practice further. Could you explain this, the energetic body, and how we can feel it and get in touch with it? I realize we're not the body, but Jean Klein also says we must know it first.
Yeah. Our phenomenal experience is twofold, meaning phenomenal experience, everything we perceive in our human experience is divided in two categories. The world, which we perceive through the senses, through the five senses, and that's what is called the gross realm. And then, and it is the realm to which intersubjective agreement apply. In other words, you and I, we are hearing this sound as I speak in this moment. So this sound is part of the world because you and I, we are perceiving it. You see? Whereas Francis' thoughts, or Gordon's thoughts, and Francis' bodily sensations and Gordon's bodily sensations are not part of the world. So they constitute the subtle realm of our human experience. This subtle realm of our human experience, in turn, is subdivided in two subcategories. One is the thoughts, images, things we perceive during the dreams, and the bodily sensations. So the realm of bodily sensation is part of the subtle world, and it is that which we call the subtle body. That's very simple. That's very simple. And of course, there is a correspondence, a correlation between the subtle body that we perceive and the physical body that we see, or the gross body that we see in the mirror. There is a connection that goes both ways. However, there is a marked difference between the two. Now, because of this correlation that exists between our bodily sensations and the physical bodies that we see in the mirror, we tend to superimpose onto the bodily sensations the physical limitation of the body that appears in the mirror. In other words, we tend to superimpose the borders, for instance, of the physical body somehow to the subtle body. This superimposition of the borders to something which belongs to a totally different realm and is, in fact, borderless, seems to justify the belief that I, as awareness, am limited. That I, awareness, am attached to this body and not to the rest of the world, to the rest of the space, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
If awareness is not limited by the body-mind, if awareness is universal, in fact, our real body is the universe. And the universe should be perceived as a continuation, as a seamless continuation of the human body. When that happens, if you will, the border, the envelope superimposed onto the bodily sensation disappears. And the subtle body that was already present as these bodily sensations seems to be liberated into the space. People attribute the expression subtle body or body of energy only to the bodily sensations that obtain when this liberating experience occurs. But that's not true, because the subtle body pre-exists such a liberating experience in the form of bodily sensations. What happens then is that we realize that the bodily sensations don't have to remain confined within the borders of the physical body. And then we discover that, in fact, everybody quite often moves their subtle body beyond the usual envelope. An example, if you see a beautiful sculpture in a museum, and you feel like the marble is polished, and you feel that the marble is cold also, what you do, although you are at a distance from it, the tactile sensation of your hands, you explore it. It's not intellectual, it is your subtle body, if you will go there. About architecture, when you are in a room, and if the room is full of bulky furniture, and you have a hard time walking through it because there is not enough room for you to walk, you feel a sensation of uneasiness, of lack of freedom. What is happening is that with your subtle body, you are moving. And you are banging against the furniture. These are examples, you know, because in the enjoyment of a work of art, be it a monument, an architect, or a sculpture, or a painting also, we use this tactile body, this tactile sense. We move out of the physical body. So that's perhaps a lengthy explanation, but the idea, the general idea is this, so I'm repeating it. If it is true that awareness is universal and not confined to this body, then it follows that our real body is the universe. And then the subtle body gets liberated when we experientially, when we have this experience of a seamless continuity between our human body and the universe.
Mhm. Oh, I think I understand. Especially your example of the architecture in the room. Like even though my physical body is not bumping into anything, but I still feel my subtle body like bumping into objects. Yes.
Yeah, we said another example. Imagine
Yes.
that you are mountain climbing and you reach a place where there is a very deep canyon, but it's a mini canyon. On top, it's only 1 yard, but it's 20 yards vertical. So in your path, you need to jump over that. It's not a problem to jump 1 yard, right?
Mm.
But
Yes.
the problem is the 20 yards possible accident. And so you are not going to go there and jump like that. What do?
Mm.
You must jump. Let's assume you have a big bear running after you. You must jump.
Yes.
What you do, you are going to prepare. How do you prepare? With your tactile body, you are going to feel exactly. It's like a cat who sees a bird. The cat prepares. Already he does this with his teeth. He prepares to grab the bird. He prepares. So with his tactile body, he moves forward and jumps at the bird already.
Mm. Mm.
And
How
also when you see someone you love, you caress them, you embrace them with your tactile body.
mm, before you even touch them?
Yes.
Mm. Mm. How would this apply, for example, to your physical yoga practice or any other physical activity, or like when you play tennis or any? I guess especially like yoga practice.
Well, when I play tennis, I'm a lousy tennis player, so I'm not going to comment on that. But and it is not meant to have. Although I no, it's true that you can rehearse a movement with your tactile body
Mm.
without actually moving. For instance, Jean Klein was telling the story of this pianist, a soloist. He was flying to New York from Europe to have to play a concerto with in New York. And during the flight, he was rehearsing the concerto, just looking at the music, and with his tactile body, just so yeah, there are applications, but these are practical applications. Understand what I said is different because in our case, the issue is happiness. It's not performing at Carnegie Hall or it's not playing at Wimbledon. It's something different. It's about happiness, and happiness flows naturally when the body is completely integrated with the world. In other words, when this separation disappears. So you were asking about the yoga. That's the essence of the yoga. The essence of the yoga is to transform the way we experience the body and the world to make it consistent with the world and the body being the same reality.
Mm, mm, mm. And do you have recorded sessions where you explore this yoga more in your recorded retreats or your
No, we do that
material?
during retreats. We use because we go in details. We use the breathing techniques and things like that. But it's not important. What is important is to understand what I've just said, and at the limit you can create your own techniques, because the point is to ask yourself the question on the bodily sensation level and the perception level. Is there a barrier that separates my body from the world? And you discover there is none. And then, having discovered this, can I stay there? And then observe when the separation comes back somehow as a feeling, when you identify with a part of the body. So that then you always keep this expanded version of yourself. And what I say expanded is not like the body, the subtle body, which is made of positive bodily sensation, is going to expand. No, it is just that these bodily sensations, the experience of the subtle human body is comprised of that these bodily sensations are released. They are no longer confined within an imaginary envelope. They are completely released into the space. And you are the space. Your real body is the space, is the space of awareness in which the subtle body deploys itself.
Mm, mm. So we are the awareness in which even the subtle body is, and not the other way around. So both the physical and the subtle body are actually in us, unlimited awareness.
Absolutely, and made out of us, but not only the physical body is actually the universe.
Mm, mm, mm. Great, thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.